emails or things like that, but I do try to put school first and always get all my notes and stuff done. It goes basically school, YouTube, and then clothing line, because clothing line isn't like so busy right now. That'll happen in January. But yeah, I always put school first. And I think it helps that I don't have a lot of friends. I mean, I'm not up at my university house, and I don't have any friends in town, so it's not like I would have to schedule any time for friends because I don't have any here. So I guess that helps, but it can be lonely, but I have time to get everything done. Okay, Serafina asked, I'm a junior in high school, and college is something that brings me so much anxiety. Like, I'm always worried I'm not going to get into college or something. So I'd like to hear your experiences with applying for schools and how you deal with anxiety about that kind of thing. Yeah, so I was definitely nervous applying to schools, but I will say that I worked really hard throughout my high school career. So my grade average in grade 12 was 96, and luckily I did get into every school I applied to. However, it was a lot of work. I didn't just apply to the schools. Like, any school that had an additional like essay application or anything like that, I always did that. So in grade 12 I probably wrote like 8 essays for different universities, to help ensure that I got in, because it's one thing to see like a 96 average, and I wasn't on any clubs, so that's, you know, they may just think, okay, she stays home and studies all day, like that's not that impressive. So then I was writing my essays to explain that I have a YouTube channel and I played sports, like rep sports outside of school and stuff like that. school, or try and talk to your parents if you're comfortable with that. Even a friend, just try and talk to someone about it. And then my first period story, yeah, for sure. So I actually got my period when I was 9 years old, so I was really young. But I developed early. Like, I've been the same height, maybe 1 or 2 inches shorter since I was like in grade 5. Like, I was the tallest girl. Like, I just went through puberty very early. So yeah, I got my period at 9 years old. And when I got it in the morning before school, my mom panicked and she took me to the hospital because she was like, you're way too young to be getting a period. Like, she didn't think it was that. And then the doctors were like, no, she just has her period. And my mom was like, no, she's too young, like something's wrong with her. And they were like, no, like it's literally just a period. So then my mom was like, okay, well, you know, at least you're okay, you're healthy, like nothing is wrong, because she thought something was wrong, you know. But then after that, we went to Tim Hortons and we had jelly-filled donuts. And then I think it was maybe the day, like that week or something, she wanted to get me a present for becoming a woman, so she got me a gold ring. She didn't give me a choice between a ruby red ring or a gold ring, and I was like, I picked the gold one. But yeah, she took me to the doctor, and I just she skipped school, I skipped school, and then we just spent the day together because she was like, oh my god, you're a woman. She was really emotional about it. I was more just like, well, I have to wear pads now. But yeah, we had jelly-filled donuts, and then she got me a ring, which was really sweet. But yeah, it was, I don't know, it wasn't bad. I got to skip school. Okay, Crystal Turner said, I'm so glad you do this. I know many young people who do not have so much to talk about women health and hygiene, or about the opposite sex, or just issues without being judged. Well, thank you, Crystal. I hope that, yeah, these videos do help people, and I try to be fairly open on here. Okay, Stephanie asked, I saw one of your old videos mentioning you were going to talk about your eating disorder, but I never saw the video. Tell us how you got over it, and do you feel you are fully recovered now? Okay, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna make a full video on my eating disorder, but I wouldn't, like, personally for me, I don't think I can ever say I'm fully recovered from an eating disorder, because I will always have those intrusive thoughts, and I still have, like, a relapse here and there. Obviously it's not that bad because I can control it, and, like, I know myself, and I know when I need help, and it's not that bad, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, for me, I feel that eating disorders are something so easy to, like, slip back into, because, I mean, that's something you do every day, you eat every day, to survive, so I will always have those intrusive thoughts. But yeah, my eating disorder, when I had it when I was in grade 7, was when it was really bad, and I was bulimic, and then starting to go bulimic, anorexic, and then I ended up talking to someone. But yeah, it was basically, I got home before my parents got home from work, and I was only in elementary school, so I would get home, and then I would binge eat, like, everything that I could. Like, I would have a full box of Girl Scout cookies, and I would have, like, mac and cheese and chips. I would just binge everything, and then I would throw it all up. And it's kind of like a game. Like, I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this, if you've had an eating disorder, but it's such an addicting game, because it's like, how much can I throw up, or like, how much can I eat and throw up? Like, I don't know, it was just so addicting. Like, I was literally addicted. Eating disorders are an addiction. So yeah, it went on for a few months, and then I finally kind of had, like, a breakdown at school to like, my librarian, and, like, she helped me, because yeah, I was bulimic, and then I was starting to fast also, so then I was getting to, like, anorexic, but I was never skinny. Like, especially in elementary school, I was never skinny, and that's a common misconception about people with eating disorders, is that they have to be really skinny. always talking to someone or talking to someone, which it definitely made me feel safer even if I wasn't talking to someone. My parents had my location, my boyfriend at the time had my location. I had like 10 friends who had my location, so everyone had my location. And my friends and I are also really good. They'd be like, okay, like just text me when you're back at your dorm, and that would help too, because if I didn't text them in like 15 minutes, they would just check my location and see if I was okay. I would also walk with like my keys in my hand, or I also had a pocket knife in university. You're not supposed to have those, but I had a pocket knife just because I was extra scared, especially hearing some of the stories about what has happened on campus, or if any of you guys have heard about the news at Western University. Yeah, so I did have a pocket knife because I was just so scared, and especially where my dorm was, it was one of the farther ones, and it wasn't like on campus with students, like it was a little bit off, so there would be other like older random people who would like yell at you and catcall you, so I was scared all the time. But that's why I had my defense stuff, and I always talk to someone. Location. There are also those bracelets that like sends your location if you're ever in an emergency, which are good too. You could look into that. Now, I don't know, this is just kind of a funny story, but when I lived in my dorm, there were some people who knew that I lived there. Like, they knew me as like, oh, like, there's that ASMR girl who lives in, you know, the dorm. And like, they knew where I was. And it happened a couple times where I would wake up in the middle of the night, and some people who were like drunk and stuff would be like whispering outside my door and like scratching on my door and stuff, and it would be super scary. Now again, with my boyfriend at the time, we used to always sleep together on FaceTime. We used to call them virtual sleepovers. So sometimes he would also be like, Ocean, like that's really scary, like he'd be like, don't worry, like I'm here with you, but if you need to like call the front desk or like security, like, you know, you totally can. I'll just stay on FaceTime on your laptop. But yeah, that's just kind of like a scary little story that, I don't know, happened. Yeah, because luckily my door was locked and everything, but can you imagine if it wasn't? Like, that would just be so scary. Pros and cons of being a YouTuber. Okay, Teresa Rose asked, I'm really having trouble with friends. I really like my friends, they aren't toxic or anything, but my group messaging doesn't work, so I'm not included in planning, and they haven't been good with letting me know about stuff. I wasn't invited to hang out and saw all their posts without me. When I reached out and asked, they weren't even apologetic or just oblivious to the fact that it was hurtful. How should I go about confronting them or asking them? Okay. Well, I'm sorry that happened. I would say, plan. Okay. I think something that I'm trying to learn is that I have really high expectations for people, so I'm trying to lower those, and I'm also trying to be more understanding. So, you know, it really sucks that your group messaging doesn't work. Like, I completely understand that inconvenience. That being said, I would say before going to your friends and just being like, we'll make more of an effort, make a plan for them, you know, be like, okay, my group messaging doesn't work, but could you guys call me if you're gonna make plans, or could you guys send me an Instagram DM? Like, I wonder if they're like, does your group messaging not work on any app like Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, even like WhatsApp? Like, there are tons of other group messaging apps other than iMessage, so maybe look into those. But I would just say try and find a way that your friends could communicate with you, whether it be by phone or email or something, so that helps too. And then if they still aren't making an effort, then I'd say have a more serious talk with them. But maybe they just don't understand how it's hurtful. Some people are just kind of like oblivious like that. They don't understand your feelings as much. But if you communicate that with them and then have a talk with them, say, examples of like women, and they actually show you how to do it. So I would say definitely watch those videos because those are super helpful and educational, but I just can't really show you, like I don't have the tools to show you. But there are tons of videos, so I would just search that in YouTube. And then quick hairstyles, I like French braids are good, or like Dutch braids. And something I also used to do a lot in high school was twisting my hair like this and then like that, you know, like twisting it and then twisting it into a bun, and I'd sleep with it overnight, and then in the morning it'd be all curly. So that's also a quick hairstyle. Mia asked, "Hey Ocean, I'm really struggling trying to find the right friends and keeping them. Do you have any tips on how to be more social? Love you. Love you too." This is a hard one for me. I would say join clubs, join sports teams. I don't know, just try and maybe put yourself out there more at school. Like, maybe ask someone to hang out first, even if you're not that close. Like, see if they wanted to grab coffee or something or study together. But I would say that this is definitely not my forte, guys. Because as you know, as I just explained to you, like I actually don't even have any friends in town. Like I don't make any plans for friends because I don't really have any in town. I don't know, I think that's something that even I was struggling with. Like, I haven't really talked to you guys about this, but I kind of want to make a whole video on the pros and cons of being a YouTuber, because I don't know, one of the cons that I've just been feeling lately is that like I'm so lonely, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to go up to my university house, but it just didn't work out with the whole like PayPal issue. But I was trying to go up so I could see my friends again and maybe make more friends, be more social and stuff, because yeah, I've just been feeling pretty lonely here, and especially with like my work and stuff, it's very isolating. Like all I talk to is a camera. I don't have anybody else to work with. So yeah, I don't really, my tips for being social aren't necessarily the best because I'm also not social, and I myself have been struggling with feeling lonely. So yeah, I don't know, we're both in it together, Mia. We're both in it together. Okay, I'm just trying to find some more with the most likes. Okay. usually if you say like I have cramps, the guys are usually like, oh, okay, and they'll let you go. But yeah, I was definitely very open, like, I have my period and I am bleeding. You are going to let me pee. Okay, Chips asked like 10 times, so let's see their question. Hi Ocean, love your dedication vids, thank you. Can you talk about how to deal with a divorce? I'm going through one right now and I'm really anxious. Thanks so much, love. Well, Chips, I've never been through a divorce. I don't know. I'm really sorry that you're going through that. But I know that there are tons of like divorce counselors and divorce lawyers and stuff like that, so I would say definitely look into a divorce counselor, because I've never been through a divorce, so I can't really offer any advice other than just go to a divorce counselor. your girl talk questions. I don't know, some of those questions were pretty hard. Some of those were hard, guys. But hopefully I helped a little